What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be talking about niches, all about niches. If you're an agency owner or you're thinking about starting an agency or you're a couple years into your agency, here's why I believe having a niche is extremely important when it comes to your business and growing your business and figuring out how to actually best serve a customer. For those who don't know me, my name is Austin Schneider. I'm the founder and CEO of Strategic. We are a organic marketing agency out of Bellevue, Washington. We have a team of about 20 plus employees, 7,500 square foot office space, doing around 2 million-ish plus and growing per year. And in this video, we're really going to break some facts down based off of stuff that I've learned along the way. And if you like this video, please do me a favor and like it, subscribe to the channel. By liking it, by commenting, by engaging with the content, it shows me that this is something that's valuable to you guys and something that I should continue to invest my time into actually doing. So first things first, let's talk about what a niche is. And for the sake of simplicity, a niche is just simply a category of business. When it comes to your perspectives, what having a niche does is it allows you to focus on one category of business and allows you to provide value to one category of business that allows you to actually serve the client and serve the client really well within that specific niche. So rather than going after 20 different categories of business, dentists, orthodontists, roofers, restaurants, etc., you are focusing on just one of those and you're dialing it in. As far as why you should niche, there's so many reasons why, and there's so many reasons that it's going to benefit you in the long term, as much as it doesn't feel like it right now. As much as it might feel sort of like you're going backwards, and it's why would I say no to people? Why wouldn't I try to go after everybody? It's actually the opposite. So why you should niche is really, if you've heard the saying, jack of all trades, master of none, that's how it's going to be for business as well. I think, and from my experience, and even from when growing Strategic, it was we wanted to do everything for everybody. We wanted to be everyone, or we wanted to do everything for everybody. But what really happened was we would just get burnt out. We would be trying to figure out 20 different services, 20 different processes that we would need to do. We didn't really know the prospect that well. We weren't really comfortable in specific categories, and it was just a setback. And really what I want to embed in you is one thing that I've learned, which is just having empathy. Putting yourself in the customer's shoes. Okay, so let's just use an example. Let's say that you run a dental clinic and you receive 2 emails from people. Email 1 says, hey, we do marketing and social media and we would love to help you out. And then you receive another email that says, we help dentists get more patients at their practice through social media. Which one are you more likely to respond to? And then who would you actually follow through with? And then when you talk on the phone with them and you talk to the agency one who's more generic and they don't really know much about dental, they don't really know much about the dentist business, and they're really just trying to post and it's kind of uncontextual, that's pretty much how it's going to go. And then the second one is once you get on a call with somebody and you've actually done this before and you know the dentist business really well and you can actually provide value to people, and because you actually know their business really well, that's how you're going to be successful when it comes to marketing. Because when you're on a phone with a prospect, you are not just trying to sell them something. It's not you against them. You are trying to add value to them. And if you know more about their business when it pertains to marketing and social media, then you actually know more about their business when it pertains to marketing and social media, because they are dentists. They are focused on growing their business. They are focused on running their business. They're not marketers. They're not in social media. They don't eat, live, and breathe it like you do. So if you can put your cap on of, I'm a consultant, I'm on your team, I want to help you out, you can't do that for 20 different businesses. You can do that for 1 to a very select few amount of businesses, okay? From a sales perspective, again, you might be thinking, oh gosh, I'm gonna miss out on another business. But the magnetization of what you're going to get by niching down is going to outweigh the opportunity cost that you're going to lose. Okay, what do I mean by that? So if you are trying to reach out to 100 people, 100 different niches, you're probably not going to get that many responses if you're fairly generic. But if you reach out to 100 different companies in a specific niche, your likelihood of getting a response because you've worked with them, because you know their business really well, and you're actually going to actually convert them is going to be much, much greater because you know their business well, because you have empathy for them, and you know how you can best serve them because you have that consulting cap on. Another real reason to niche is from an operational efficiency perspective. Again, telling you the story earlier about how we were trying to do everything for everyone, it was super operationally efficient. Why? Because we had to have 20 different systems. We had to figure out 20 different ways of doing something for somebody versus just having one system for one niche, for one offer that we're offering to our clients. Okay? Easier said than done. It's going to be a little bit trickier, but again, it's like, why would you want to create 20 different options, or like, why would you want to have 3 different options, 5 different options for 5 different types of niches when you can just pick one and go deep with them? Okay, so it's going to help you with sales, and it's going to help you be operational efficient. That is why you need to niche down. Okay, let's talk about what niches that you should avoid. And this is just based off of experience. This isn't based off of anything other than my experience as an agency owner for the past 5 years, as well as being in the marketing space for the last 10 years. The first real one that we tend to avoid are startups. Unless they have a massive amount of funding or they have a big backing financially, they're probably not going to want to invest in social media, at least right away. And when I say startups, I more so mean, sole proprietors or owner operators who are just kind of getting going, or maybe it's my side hustle and I'm trying to grow my business. It's like they're probably not going to be your prospect right out of the gate, because they're probably not going to be willing to invest into marketing like what you're offering, unless it's a very small amount, because they still have the ability to do a lot of things. They have maybe a little bit more time margin, or they're looking to spend their resources elsewhere to acquire clients or work on the business versus on the marketing end. So startups, we just have never really had that great of experience with it. Maybe some one-off projects, but from a long-term, I'm going to invest a bunch of time into it. It's a little hit or miss. The second niche that we tend to avoid from our experience are restaurants. So the average profit margin for a restaurant falls between 3 and 5%. Okay. And from that perspective, I mean, if I'm looking at a prospect that, is in a growing industry, has a lot of money and easy to find, I don't feel that a restaurant necessarily will meet the needs of being able to invest into the marketing, invest into more of a high ticket agency service. And that's simply based off of our experience. Again, maybe it's a one-off project, maybe it's something small that you could do for them, but from investing a bunch of time prospecting for these niches, probably not going to be your best bet unless that's really where you eat, live, and breathe. From a restaurant perspective, what I would probably do is I would just go after like a restaurant group. So basically a restaurant group who owns multiple restaurants underneath of them. That's probably where you're gonna have the best luck for the food and beverage business, again, based off of my experience. The next niche that I would avoid is solopreneurs. So as you're starting your business, you're probably going to get hit up by a lot of friends or family who are just kind of starting their business and wanting help. Okay. Yes, deep down inside, you want to help them out. Yes, you want to add value to people as you're meeting people, just kind of out and about. There's going to be a lot of solopreneurs that likely you're going to come across and ask you for help. In our experience, again, same story as last time. Maybe a good fit for a small project every now and then, but should you invest your time? Should you niche down to solopreneurs? Probably not, because they're probably not going to have a budget for you, and it's probably not going to make sense for you at the end of the day. Okay? And I say these niches to avoid if you are wanting to build a company or a business. Okay, if you're watching this and you're a freelancer and you're just like, okay, I just want to get some gigs to kind of continue to grow just by myself, I'm a solo owner operator, I'm a freelancer, then you might be able to get away with these people for a little bit versus trying to build a company, trying to price to delegate, trying to go more high ticket. It's going to be a little bit trickier to go after these niches. Okay, so let's talk about niches that I love. And this is just me. I'm sure I'm going to miss something, but this is simply my belief system based off of the experiences that we've had that have performed well. So niches that I love, niches that I believe have performed extremely well. Okay, first thing is real estate brokerages. So when I think of a niche, Alex Hormozy from his book $100 Million Offers puts it really, really simply. Are they growing? Is the industry growing? Do they have money? And are they easy to find? Okay, when I think of real estate brokerages, they check all of that boxes. Okay, they're growing, they have money, and they need a lot of content, and they need to be seen. They need to be seen by a lot of people. Okay. Another thing that I like about the real estate brokerages is that they need a great brand, right? They need to be constantly omnipresent. In order to succeed, they need to stay in front of people. If you know the real estate business at all, it's very much, hey, we need to stay in front of as many people as possible. We need to get in front of customers. We need to be aware. People need to be aware of us, because when they are ready to sell, they need to think of us. So it's very much a top of mind play. And that's why we really like it from a content perspective and from a social media perspective, because it allows you to do that. Another thing, they're growing. They're always looking to recruit. They're always looking to add value to the brokers. So not only from a real estate brokerage perspective, you're actually able to tap into the brokers that they are working with. And a thing with real estate, if they're successful, they have a lot of money. It's a very high margin business. And if they are growing, then there's a lot of opportunity to serve people underneath the real estate brokerages. Second niche that we really love is personal injury attorneys. Okay, they're growing, they have money, and they're easy to find. Okay, and same story with the real estate brokerages, right? They need to be omnipresent, right? If you think about people. If you think about personal injury attorneys, like they traditionally will advertise on buses, on billboards, on TV ads, because they need to be top of mind, because they need to constantly be pumping their message out, right? They need to scale trust. And what's the best way to scale trust? Probably where 80% of Americans are spending almost 3 hours a day, which is on social media. How can we build a brand? How can we scale trust? How can we humanize these personal injury attorneys so they're not intimidating, they're not hard to talk to, right? They're trying to scale their trust so they can get more cases and get more people into their door. And social media is a great tool for personal injury attorneys, and the ability to serve them, I think, is a massive, massive opportunity. Okay. Third niche that we really love is home services. Again, they're growing, they have money, they're easy to find. Okay, same story as the last two, right? They need content and they need to scale trust. Okay, how are you going to show before and afters at scale? How are you going to start getting these homeowners to start seeing their house in a different mode, right? Through social media, because that's where they're spending their time, especially home services. People are scrolling through social media. Like, people are looking at houses. People are looking for inspiration. Home services is a awesome industry to get into, whether that's roofing, HVAC, plumbing. It's not the sexiest necessarily, but you can add a lot of value to these businesses, and it's a service-driven business, meaning that they need to, again, scale the trust in order to stay in front of people and do really well. The last real niche, I guess you can say, if you are starting out, if you're just kind of getting going, is just to start local. Like, start in your background. Start in your backyard. Like, who do you see frequently advertising on TV? Who do you see frequently on billboards? Who do you hear on the radio potentially? Like, who's advertising in local magazines? Start reaching out to those people and start adding value to them. Check out their social media. Are they investing time in their social media? Are they investing time in video? Are they investing time in design? Are they investing time in services that your company can actually provide to them? If not, that's an easy in to simply reach out to them and say, hey, notice that you're advertising in XYZ magazine, but I haven't seen you really exercising the muscle of social media. Is it because of lack of resources? Because we would love to help you out. Okay, scour magazines, like pick up local things and just start reaching out to people and start building those types of relationships, because if they're advertising elsewhere, they likely need to also be branding themselves on social media, and could be a resource issue. When it comes to niche, really just all in all is definitely pick a niche. And the best advice just when it comes to niching that I've learned is picking a niche that you know well. So if you know nothing about home services, you probably shouldn't niche down to home services. If you know nothing about real estate, you probably shouldn't niche down to real estate brokerages. But if you know a ton about hospitality, if you know a ton about the restaurant industry, start there. And that way you can actually, again, provide value to them, and you know their business, and you know what makes the customers ticks, and you know what kind of content will actually drive traffic, and you know what kind of content that's actually going to bring awareness and scale their trust, right? Like what kind of businesses do you know well? What's the passion that can be profitable, right? Like what are you passionate about? What kind of businesses do you know really well that you can then tie into, reach out to them, and all of that good stuff. Because at the end of the day, if you get on the phone with somebody and you have no idea what their business is and they're explaining to you their business model, that's just a disservice, and the prospect's likelihood of actually them moving forward with you is very low. So all in all, pick a niche. Hopefully this is helpful. If it is helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this content, so I can keep going down. If there's any questions, leave them down below. Look forward to continuing to serve you guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next video.